Hey, it's Doug Grady, author of this little book, The Ripple Effect. I'm overlooking Lake Chautauqua here in Hiawassee, Georgia. You know, the subtext of this little book is that one simple choice can change the course of your life. I've been working with corporations and individuals over the last 3 decades to support them in just moving the needle, changing something. Seems like all of us want to change something, and sometimes we try and it doesn't work or doesn't seem to work. So I want to give you a simple formula today. Very simple, doesn't mean it's easy, but a simple formula today to change really anything in your life. So I want you to think right now of something you'd like to change. Maybe something in the area of your health and fitness, maybe something with your career, something with your relationships, or your temperament, your mindset, your level of anxiety. Just pick something. And you can boil just about anything down to this 3-step formula and change it. So we'll think about something specific, and I'd like to consider you applying this formula to that particular thing. Do you have it? Great. One simple choice can change the course of your life. Choice is the starting point of change. Step number 1 is to choose. Doesn't have to be the perfect choice. Doesn't have to be the forever choice. Certainly doesn't have to be the best time in the world, but you simply must make a choice. That great Canadian philosopher, Grady, he said, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. Those of you that are under 30 have no idea who Grady is, so Google it. History lesson for you. One simple choice can change the course of your life. So the way you can ask this question is just to say, what am I not doing that if I did it could potentially have an impact, a positive impact in my life over the course of time? So when I was asked this question years ago, the answer I came up with is around fitness. I thought, well, if I get back into a fitness routine, I made a commitment around this area. It was 30 minutes a day for a 30-day period. I thought that might really change my life. You know what? It did. I mean, it transformed. That one simple choice ended up changing everything in my life. And it's because I applied this first step and these next 2 steps that I'll share with you. Now, when it comes to choice, what happens is there's a sort of a mechanism in our mind, in our brain, that wants to have us kind of stay in the status quo. I remember almost not even making that choice to exercise. I was just too tired or too irritable, or I had too many other things on my mind. But when you finally make that choice, life starts to move. So it could be an area in your faith. It could be something with regard to relationships. It could be something with regard to business practices, or if you're in sales, lead generation, a recommitment to a certain thing in that area. So whatever that is, you've got to simply make a choice. What am I not doing that if I did it would impact my life over a period of time? Positive change begins with a positive choice. That's step number 1. Now, a lot of people choose and nothing seems to happen, or nothing does happen. And it's because something got in the way of that choice. You probably heard of programs like P90X, for example, or a 30-day cleanse, or the 21-day challenge, or reboot, or there's business programs around 66 days. There's been a lot of studies that really is what it takes minimum to create a habit, not 21 days. We have a program called 40 Days of Focus. You engage in one personal choice every day for 40 consecutive days. Do you know what all these programs have in common? Most people quit these programs somewhere statistically around days 7 to 9. Now, if you quit a choice that you made, you quit a 30-day program, a 40-day program, a 66-day program on day 7, you can never say that program didn't help me change. All you can say is that you quit. You chose not to continue to do the work. So step number 2 is very simply, you got to stay the course. You got to do it when you don't feel like it, when you don't want to, when you're too tired, when you're too hungry and angry and anxious and irritable. Fill in the blanks. You simply have to find a way to stay the course. It was about day 7 or 8, I think, when I committed to this exercise program when I was faced with what you might call a pivot point. I got back very late in the day. It was about 11:17 p.m. after an 18-hour business day. And so I've got 43 minutes to honor this 30-minute commitment to exercise or blow it off. And this is when that little voice starts talking to you. You know the one? The one that lets you off the hook. Man, I'm too tired. I don't feel like it. I've had a pretty good day today. I should just relax and recover from my hard workout yesterday, or it's been a bad day, a good day, an indifferent day, whatever. Fill in your favorite excuse. And that little voice wants to let you off the hook. It wants to make it okay for you not to do what you said you would do. So change continues when you are willing, when you're committed to do the work, even when you don't feel like it, when the weather's bad, when it's inconvenient, when the kids are screaming. I mean, that's the time that the program, this step process, that's when it really begins, is when you have to overcome something to actually make it happen. It's not easy, but it is simple to say, I'll cut through all that clutter and I will do it anyway. And those words, do it anyway, those are the words my dad used to say to me when I was a kid, when I didn't want to do stuff like go clean your room or go mow the lawn or go chop some wood. Did you have to chop wood as a child? This is like child abuse. And I'd say, now they just call it CrossFit, right? But I'd say, Dad, I don't feel like chopping wood today. I think I chopped wood 3 weeks ago. How come my sister doesn't have to chop wood? And he would just say these 3 words, do it anyway. And these are the 3 words, your integrity, your discipline, your choice. It really has nothing to do with how you feel. Choice is a choice because you said you would do it. So you can use these 3 words as a mantra and do the work. I'll do it anyway, even though I don't feel like it. And stuff will start to happen that would never happen otherwise when you stay the course. This is step number 1, is to choose something. And by the way, in this choice, I recommend that you put a time limit on it. It's not forever. So mark yourself a time anywhere between 21 days to 90 days. Put a threshold on it, and then you reassess. I remember, I guess it was New Year's, about a year, the previous New Year's, my wife Allison had this great idea. She said, we're going to do a 30-day cleanse. And there's pretty intense stuff in this cleanse. I mean, it's no, it's no meat, it's no red meat, no pork, that means no bacon, there's no gluten, no sugar, no wheat, no alcohol, no fun. I think was actually even on that list. No, I'm kidding. And then on the other side, there were these supplements that we took 3 days a week. We had to do more water, more vegetables, supplements 3 times a day. I remember, I guess it was about day 6 before the supplements actually arrived. They were late. So in my wife's wonderful wisdom, this is now a 36-day cleanse because we have to, of course, do the supplements with the 30 days. Here's the point. It's 36 days. You can lock that thing in for 36 days, go all in. It's not forever. And after the end of 36 days, you go have a margarita and a pizza and you say, what's next? But you do the work, you stay the course for that time frame. So you got to, number 1, choose. You got to, number 2, you got to stay the course. You got to do the work. You got to do it whether you like. All bets are off. You quit a P90X on day 7, listen, you're still tired. You're still hungry, you're still out of shape, and now you're so sore and angry you might never work out again. This is not a 7-day program. It's a 90-day program, and there's a reason for that. So commit, stay the course, do the work. Step number 1 is to choose. Step number 2 is to stay the course. That means you don't unchoose your choice. You don't undo what you committed to. Third step is perhaps the most important one and the least engaged in one of all 3. And this is really where the ripple effect takes work. It's very simply this: you got to pay attention. Pay attention to the impact of this choice in every significant area of your life. If it's a personal choice, how did that personal choice affect business? How did that personal choice affect other critical areas of your life? If you're in sales or you're an entrepreneur, you're a business person, if you can link this personal choice to the biggest sale or the sale you would never have made otherwise, or a conversation that led to something, that's where transformation really gets magnified. Momentum just starts to build by paying attention. So paying attention is a way of just what are you focusing on? What types of questions are you asking? Every day during this 30-day recommitment to exercise, I would say, well, what's different about my life? And sometimes my brain would go, well, nothing. I'm still, still out of shape. My business still isn't going well. It was a long time ago. I would like that little voice again that wants to trap you and keep you stuck, starts talking. So, but I would say, no, let's think about something. There's got to be something better because I made this choice. I thought, well, I haven't worked out 7 days in a row in a couple of years now, so that's a win. I could chalk that up. I thought, well, I might have a little bit more energy now when I wake up in the morning than I did a week ago. The fact that I honored my word, well, that's a plus. That's a check mark. I could put thumbs up for that. And then over time, I just continue to ask this question, like, what's different? How is life better? I joined a men's group in my church. That probably never would have happened. I started getting up earlier. I started letting go of some health habits that didn't work for me. I started, I let go of some people that just weren't very healthy for me in my life. And slowly but surely, my business turned around as well because I was able to apply that discipline muscle into any area of life. And you can too, by paying attention. So pay attention to the progress. Pay attention to what it took. Pay attention to that time that you almost let yourself off the hook, but you did it anyway. Because that muscle, man, that's a muscle you can apply in any area of your life. Step number 1 is to choose. Step number 2, stay the course. And step number 3, be relentless with paying attention to the positive impact of this choice in every significant area of your life. How are your conversations different? What's happening that probably wouldn't have happened otherwise? What results are you getting in business? How has it rippled into your life? Take a stand that this is doing something. Like, this is changing the course of my life. You take that stand, you look through those glasses, you look through that filter, you will find what you're looking for. In one of the videos we did in our program, 40 Days of Focus, there was a mist above the river. This was a river in Atlanta area called the Chattahoochee. And I thought, what a great metaphor for this thing called progress. Because if you looked out into the mist, you almost couldn't see the water moving. It looked as though it was an illusion, but it looked as though nothing was happening in the river because of this slight mist above the ripples. But listen, something's always happening in the river. The river is always moving. The ripples are always developing. So you got to take off the mist, claim it, look for it, and find it. Choose, stay the course, pay attention. And this is how specifically one simple choice can change the course of your life. I'd love to connect with you personally. My website is douggrady.com. If you want to pick up a copy of the book, best place to do it is on Amazon. I'd love to hear from you. I'm pretty easy to find on Facebook and on Twitter and all the social media platforms. So I welcome a conversation with you. Let me know how things are going. Has this message resonated with you? Better yet, tell me how it's changed your life 30, 40, 50, 60 days from now. Choose simply. Choose powerfully. Choose now. One simple choice can change the course of your life.